Good day, friends. My name is S. Venkat. I'm founder director with My CFO, which is India's largest and fastest growing CFO services company. In this 2-minute video today, we're going to be sharing some insights on what you can do to make your budgeting process more effective. The Union Budget for 2015 is right around the corner. The Finance Minister is going to be presenting his financial plan for the country for next year. And we thought this would be a good time for us to share with you, based on our experience with probably 200 odd companies that we have worked with in the last 3 years, as to what are the 3 things that you can do to get your budget process to be more effective. The first thing that you could do as a company is to try and make your budget or business planning process more market opportunity driven rather than being an incremental exercise over the last year's numbers. Far too many promoters and entrepreneurs, and of course CFOs, are guilty of taking last year's P&L or balance sheets and asking the question that can we do 15% more, can we do 20% more? Many a times we are happy with this kind of an incremental performance. It's 25% better than last year and we say this is great. Maybe we should try and do something slightly different this year by asking ourselves as to what is the size of the market opportunity. For most companies, you would find that we are probably, in terms of our sales, we are probably at 0.1%, 0.2%, maybe 1% of the overall market. If we were to go out and say that, look, we want to get hold of 1.5% or 2% of the market, maybe we're talking about increasing our turnover maybe 5 times, 6 times, maybe 10 times. So let's think not so much from a constraint-led perspective, but more from an opportunity-led perspective to see where is it that we want to take our companies to in the next financial year. The second thing that you can do to make your budgets more effective is to think in terms of business metrics. Far too often, business plans and budgets are driven by financial metrics like profits, like turnover. We look at borrowing levels. What gets missed out on all of this is accounting and financial metrics are nothing but a byproduct of the business. If you're not going to be thinking about sales volumes, if you're not going to be thinking about number of sales channels, you're not going to be thinking about number of geographies where you want to be active. If you're not thinking about productivity metrics like sales per salesperson, the revenue per month, the revenue per geography per month, you look at profitability by product, profitability by channel, the total capital that needs to be employed in a business unit, the return on capital employed for a business unit. Unless we really start thinking about some of these metrics, it's very hard to really map out what the P&L and balance sheet will look like at the end of 1 year. So think about the business metrics that are key drivers for your business. Do a sensitivity analysis. See which factors in your business, by tweaking a little bit, give you a disproportionate value in terms of either turnover or profits, and see if you can create scenarios for optimistic, realistic, and pessimistic. The third thing that you need to do to get your budgeting process more effective is to fix accountability. Far too many times, budgets are really aspirational exercises. They are dreams of entrepreneurs or promoters or CEOs that get drawn out on an Excel spreadsheet without there being adequate clarity on who is the person who's going to be executing this on the ground. The more detailed your budget is in terms of the people who are running with these targets or the KRAs, the more detailed it is in terms of the frequency of the review. Unless you start doing budgets on a weekly, fortnightly, or a monthly basis, it's hard for you to measure actual performance against your budgeted performance. Also, let's not forget that very rarely in business life do we find that accountability can be fixed on one person. The reality of business is there are too many interdependencies. So think through the interdependencies when you start doing your budget exercise for this year. So to quickly wrap up, to sum up, the 3 ways in which you can get your budgets to be more effective as compared to the last year. 1, think in terms of the market opportunity, not just as an incremental exercise over the last year's actual numbers. 2nd, think in terms of business drivers and business metrics, and not necessarily in terms of how the P&L or balance sheet will look like. And 3rd thing, think about who are the people who are going to take accountability for individual parts of the budget, including thinking through the interdependencies between these individuals. So that's it from us today. For more such videos on how you can get more out of your finance department, log on to www.mycfo.in. Ciao.